This is the first podcast that we're going to do where I have a haircut.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I actually shaved today. I shaved this morning.
I got a clean shave today, a hot shave.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. And they did not do a great job.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's fucking.
I know there's hair.
You
I'm like pretty upset with it.
You got to cut
Where
too.
did you
And
go?
he cut me.
What the fuck? Where did he go to get that?
It only cost him $135.
Did it really?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Where the fuck did you go?
It was a good haircut, a shitty shave.
Oh, so you get a haircut, but dude, you haven't got your hairstyle. You should have got like a 40. Where did you go? Did you go
Just
to like
a place on like La Cienega.
Dude, just go to that fucking place that charges $40 and is like on every like other.
Alex is still getting Supercuts haircuts.
I used to get expensive haircuts when I had long hair. Now I just go to. Honestly, now I do it myself. But
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty upset.
was it with a straight razor?
Yeah.
How did he cut you? It's so hard to cut somebody with a straight razor.
what are you talking about?
Sweeney Todd, motherfucker.
That's on purpose. Like somebody. If you're
so
trying
easy
to
to-
slit
The
somebody's
demon
throat-
barber of Fleet Street.
Have you ever used a proper straight razor?
Yeah,
Are we
terrifies
recording?
me, and I have shaky hands. Yeah, we are.
Oh, we are recording.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Straight razors are like super easy to cut. Whose volume's on fucking full?
Oh, me, I like it on full.
Oh my god.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got terrible ears. I'm deaf.
What?
Welcome to the Chicken Coop Podcast, where we discuss and dissect the news through a lens of media and technology. I'm Adrian.
I'm Jacob.
I'm hungry. I'm Alex.
Hi, hungry.
Together, we're the founders of Butler. It's an app. It's the best place to search, save, and share all of your favorite media. It's IMDb meets Pinterest. It's Shazam meets Wikipedia. It's Goodreads meets Good UI. We're building a media
I like that one.
concierge app.
Goodreads meets good UI.
It's likewise if it were made by real human beings.
We're building a media concierge app.
Need one for
with-
Q as well.
Yeah.
We are building a
I was
media
thinking every
concierge.
week we can come up with new ones.
It's Q if you wanted anything to do with Quibi.
Yeah. And we've got a global community going. We're building an app to help you stop searching, stop browsing, and start watching your favorite TV shows, your favorite movies, start listening to your favorite music. Just keep everything all in one place. If you'd like to
Oh my
learn
god,
more,
that's so loud.
if you'd like to learn more, you can visit us at trybutlerapp.com or click any of the links in our description to download it today. Anyway,
Boom.
yeah,
Good job.
Drop the mic. Podcast over.
mic's over
Goodbye,
there.
guys.
Let's drop that one,
Good
yeah.
episode.
Best intro so far.
All right. So
Today we're sponsored by green tea, Trader Joe's.
yeah,
Not really, but
Well,
You
not.
keep plugging products.
they're on the
every
table.
episode.
They're on the table.
Hopefully, one day they'll sponsor
One
us.
day,
Well,
one
that
day.
was a good,
One
right?
day.
We never did it.
Yeah, we haven't clipped
All right.
yet. If we
Cool.
do clip, I'll just cut your mic and I'll put it back on.
You can have pomegranate juice.
Yeah,
Cool.
To make you
Down.
yeah,
shit your pants on the plane.
yeah. These things are really good. They're like between 10 and 15 calories a piece.
Oh my
which
God,
is
why are we talking
almost
about
nothing.
this?
Like
We
2
started so strong.
2 grams of sugar
Welcome
per
to the
can.
Consumer Packaged Goods Podcast.
Yeah, we're the consumer
Throughout-
packaged good couple.
Throughout this
podcast.
podcast, you might hear a beeping noise, and that beeping noise is because we're actually in the middle of cooking a brisket, and it's very
Alex
close
started
to
smoking
being...
again.
Yeah, started smoking again, smoking some meat. So yeah, if you
so
hear an
gross.
annoying beeping, we'll turn it off as fast as we can. But it's because we're at 190 and we're waiting for our brisket to get.
If
to
you hear 3
205.
annoying guys,
That's actually
be sure to like and subscribe.
That's actually a pretty good segue into what I wanted to talk about first, which
Smoked
is
meats.
Well, smoked meats gets me to Mark Zuckerberg, gets me to Mark Zuckerberg as a ventriloquist dummy,
Okay,
and that
Brings
gets
you to
me
Dolly.
Dolly. What
Oh,
do you
okay,
guys? What do you guys think about this whole like new AI generated images thing that's just swept the internet over the
well,
last
Copy
2
AI by the same company got really popular.
Yeah, that's more practical in a lot of senses, though.
specifically to do for like image stuff, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Because it's
Absolutely.
like right now you can generate. It's getting better to generate images from prompts, right? But in maybe a couple of years, you'll be able to generate GIFs or videos from prompts. So it's gonna naturally progress to the point where, as filmmakers, we can say, I want a
live action Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, but good.
I mean,
that
Literally,
they are
yes.
making one on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Netflix has a live action Avatar.
extrapolated down the line, yes, but imagine, we shoot something in front of a green screen and then we're paying like, I don't know, $100 a month to this service that uses AI, and we just say, I want this backdrop, and it gives us it just renders all the 3D assets for us, and we plug it straight in and we can use it.
I mean, DALL-E can already do that for still images. If you want to show, like, I'm wearing a white t-shirt here, what does it look like if I'm wearing a blue t-shirt? You can feed it images.
A blue t-shirt with this print on it and this text.
It's wild.
It's really comprehensive.
I think, I think I've been looking online, and there's like, obviously there's the usual, like, you're taking the art out of it, the usual things that come with it. Same when film moved from film to digital, and special effects moved to be predominantly just VFX. There's like certain arts that are going to die, but then it democratizes being able to make whatever the hell you want. Even more. It's really awesome.
Also, then that argument it's kind of true on one hand, but on the other hand, like, now you have giant shoe factories that make shoes, right? But a bespoke pair of shoes, the price of a bespoke pair of shoes has skyrocketed since the invention of the factory, because the craft and the care for an individual piece, that becomes more valued and more expensive. So, maybe in the future we'll have AI generated films, but something that is, smaller, done by people, that's its own genre. That's its own, like, very valued area.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think there's always going to be space for artists to use whatever medium they want. If they want to take an approach that's very intensive, that's very thorough, that's, even if it's using obsolete technology, like, some artists can really thrive using that medium. I went to the Hammer Museum last week, and I listened to Sarah Zucker talk. She's an artist. She's also a Jeopardy winner. She was really cool to listen to. But she'll make
Jeopardy podcast.
Real American Celebrity.
She'll make art based on and using, like, VHS technologies, and then mint NFTs based on the art that she makes. And she's been making GIFs forever. Like, she's one of, like, the most popular Jiffy creators.
GIFs.
Really?
Oh my God, we are not talking about this on that podcast. No. The creator.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
But I
It's my birthday soon. Are you going to get me a nice gift? A birthday gift? Language doesn't work that way.
If I make something, I could name it.
Yeah, and you'd be wrong. Anyway, continue, Sarah Zucker.
She was really interesting, but she uses technology that no one else uses, essentially. It's like VHS is not popular anymore.
Well,
it's an obsolete medium, but she's able to create great visuals from it.
Yeah.
In terms of just, like, film grain and film noise, a lot of people that want to have their own, like, if you're filming on a digital like a digital camera and then you want to have it look like it's filmed on VHS, you can go and record, like, a blank VHS screen, and you'll get the noise from that, and then you can overlay that on top of your footage, and it'll make it look like a VHS.
See, that's so much more complicated than just using, like, an Instagram filter. But yeah, you can go that extra step if you want to. I think there's always space to use that extra step.
Yeah.
You
can also, what you can also do? You can scratch your camera lens and sensor with rocks.
Oh, true. Yeah,
that works really well.
Awesome.
I cannot believe that's
Run a magnet behind the camera screen.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, no, some people actually put, like, pantyhose over the lens.
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's a thing that's been.
But that's non-destructive.
Well,
that's a trick that people have been doing since, like, the 1920s and 30s. Yeah, that's
as old as film.
What's that name? I can't remember the name of it. But if anyone doesn't know, whenever you in old movies,
if you've ever seen a movie with Lauren Bacall or
a close up of
Marilyn Monroe,
of a beautiful actress, and normally they've got, like, an eye light and it's a close up.
They look like they're kind of fuzzy, but in a good way.
There's, like, a softness to them.
I feel like they would have used that in Licorice Pizza.
They might have.
And what that is, and I've actually seen them used on set as well. It's just a filter you put in front of the camera, but it quite literally is a pair of pantyhose.
Yeah, it's nylons.
Yeah, and you just shoot through it, and it kind of blurs everything ever so slightly.
It makes everything just look really pretty for a minute, and it works really well with color too. I'm surprised we don't see it more often.
But going back to the AI thing, I was listening to the Corridor Digital podcast, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And they were talking about the same thing, and what they were saying was, eventually what the art will be is coming up with the prompt.
Yep, absolutely.
Because then everything will be generated from the prompt. So The real art will
I
be...
read a tweet that said the same thing.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's always art in it. It might change from one thing to another. I mean, you can go and do stop motion animation if you want to make a King Kong movie, but you could also just have it done via VFX.
Well, also there's a cool topic though, right? Like New Jurassic World came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see it.
The New Jurassic World, all of the dinosaurs are CGI, right? One thing that Star Wars has been doing really well is melding practical effects and VFX. So they're doing, some on-set puppetry, some off-site like stop motion or model making, and they're using CGI to blend over it in order to just fill in the gaps. Whereas normal CG looks, or just like 100% pure CG looks really janky and like floaty. When you weigh it down with actual physical props, it seems to do a lot better. So with the AI thing, there will be a synergy somewhere in the center, right? Where it's not just fully AI driven. It's not just like a dude punching in prompts. Maybe it's you punch in prompts and then there's a whole team of artists that then take that image and kind of clean it up to whatever they want the specs to be.
Reminds me of the whole thing with Gollum in Lord of the Rings originally, where there was Gollum. I think that was either the first or one of the first motion capture things that
Like
they ever
fully
did
motion capture characters.
on out and about on set.
Yeah.
But then they also they had motion capture, and then they had animation driven by motion capture, and then they also had a whole separate department that was just purely animation that was using the footage of who played Gollum? Can't
Andy
remember.
Serkis.
Using the footage of Andy Serkis to inform their animation, but it wasn't directly driven by that. And then they basically, I think in the end they merged the two, but there were two very different departments vying for which one to be used.
Well, there's also, the argument is that motion capture will eliminate the need for artists going in and actually making the 3D models and moving them and animating them by themselves. That's not really how it turned out. Now, most of the time when there's motion capture, it still takes teams and teams and teams of very, very qualified artists to fully animate them so that the motion seems a little more natural or even unnatural or more expressive. Like micro animations in the face department. That's something that Arcane, which is, I mean, if you're in LA, you're getting bombarded constantly by
billboards everywhere.
billboards
I saw it
for
today.
Arcane.
Is there another one coming out? A second season?
No,
It's just the for your consideration posters.
For the Emmys, they're really pushing, and they should. They deserve it.
Fantastic.
I think there's a whole topic there too, because in LA, the billboards are very different than in other cities.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
driving around San Francisco, you see billboards for
Tech
small
companies.
software companies.
Yeah.
They're getting the eyes of whoever's driving over there. But in LA, every billboard, I mean, it's for movies, it's TV shows.
We have
I started seeing
seasons, too.
Audible
Yeah.
billboards. Like that was wild. I've never seen audiobooks until like this year.
Yeah, and they do like radio shows now on Audible.
That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about driving LA actually.
Yeah.
Is when my girlfriend is driving, I'll pull up Butler and save movies I drove by.
Remember?
I drove by an Elvis billboard today. I can't wait to watch that.
yeah.
we talked
That
about
trailer for that was crazy. Tom Hanks looks unrecognizable.
Yeah, he also sounds awful.
I haven't seen the
Oh,
trailer
I'm like,
yet.
you should see photos of him.
Do you
He
remember?
sounds
Looks
Tom
disgusting.
Yeah.
Maybe half a year ago, we were driving around late at night, and we were like, "Wouldn't it be great to have a feature on Butler to be able to take a photo of a poster or a book cover or a DVD cover and be able?" And so instead of typing something out, it would
Add
just
it straight
save
to your list that way. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
something I definitely want to add in the future. That'd be great.
Well, right now, if you save a photo if you take a photo of something on your iPhone,
Oh, yeah.
you can select text within that photo and
Yeah.
copy it, which is crazy to me.
You can do that on.
I took a photo of our set here, and it could identify a lot of the movies, TV show that we've written on the wall.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really good. So
Google,
eventually,
I think
that'll
Google,
be a thing.
Google has Google Lens that does a
Yeah.
similar thing. Yeah.
So
Just Apple does it better.
well, no, but if you're driving around LA, you'll see billboards right now everywhere for Arcane, the Netflix League of Legends show. Which if you haven't watched it, absolutely do watch it. Easily the best animated show of the decade, one of the best TV shows period
Whoa.
I've seen in a long time.
It was very well done. Yeah.
It's phenomenally done. If they fuck up season 2, which hopefully they don't, if they really, really mess it up, I'm talking like fully self-destruct on the series, season 1 will still be by itself incredible TV, open and shut. Like, you
it
don't
was very,
need a season
very,
two.
very good.
I've not
very
seen
good.
it yet.
It's really
yeah, you'd
good.
enjoy it.
I cannot talk this show up enough. But their animation is it's 9 episodes. It took like 6 years for them to build up the studio and actually animate it. The facial animations in that show are incredible. Like the you'll see characters.
Was that motion? Was that all animation?
That's all animation.
No, like reference.
I don't.
like
they
motion-
might have referencing, and I think I saw some references for the scene where they're coming out with a documentary in August.
Really?
Yeah, like 6-part mini doc series. But I saw animation.
What's it called? I'm gonna add it right now.
I have no idea. You could probably search Arcane and it'll come up. I saw a couple of reference shots for the scene where when Victor's messing with the hex tech bullcrap and his assistant walks in on him. Mm-hmm. I saw the references that they took. It's literally just like 4 French people in an office, like videotaping themselves to get the movement down. It's that show is like stunningly done in terms of animation.
Bridge the Rift.
Yeah, I think so. And we have motion capture. Yeah, we have all these great technologies, but that show showcases a very creative way to utilize pretty much all forms of animation.
Bringing it back to AI, I think the film business is one area that you can look at how AI is going to like fundamentally help and change the way it's done. And I think I think the film is one of the foremost uses for AI
Absolutely.
at the moment. I mean, just look at like the stuff that we've done. We've used AI to do rotoscoping before. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't like perfect, but it was still
got us paid.
yeah, still got its pay. I think I actually redid it because it wasn't good enough. But I mean, it was almost there. Like if we were making something for Instagram, that would be very different. But we were making something that I needed to be in like 4K. But it was almost there.
Yeah,
So
it was really close.
And that was on as more people use those services and they get more data to train on, it's going to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Anyway, on the topic of Netflix, we have a couple interesting.
Well, should we talk about the one that we just found out about? Right.
Oh yeah.
Right before, like literally right before we started this podcast.
Yeah, it's a tragedy.
It's June 18th today. And yeah, right before we started this podcast, we found out that production suspended on Netflix series The Chosen One after 2 actors die, 6 injured in auto accident involving crew.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it sounds like it apparently the actors.
Do you want to just read the start of the thing off from Deadline?
The production of the series has been temporarily paused by Red Rum, the unfortunate name, the company running the film. The accident occurred when the victims were in transit to the local airport on June 16th.
Oof.
Injured cast members are in stable condition. 6 injured,
Oh
2 unfortunately dead.
Nuts.
Yeah, and it wasn't even on set or anything. Usually,
So it wasn't a bad stunt. It wasn't a stunt gone wrong or anything like that. Just yeah. I mean, speculating.
this is why we need AI drivers, and this is why we need AI film production.
Honestly, there's a huge problem in the film industry of people driving while tired.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
Really bad.
it's more dangerous to drive when you're tired than drive when you're drunk.
So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
degree,
that's what this is, but like AI drivers in the film industry would be super useful.
If it came out that it was something to do with that and they didn't get like hit, because it say
It flipped.
It flipped, right? So
Oh my god.
if it got hit and flipped because of that, that's one thing. But if it was just because whoever the driver was is exhausted, would not surprise me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Especially because the Teamsters, who are the people the drivers, the unionized drivers, they're like first in, last out. They have to pull up. I think they have like a tiny turn. I think their turnaround's like 6 hours or something insane like that. So they have, they have to set up base camp. They have to drive the trucks from wherever they're holding the trucks, park them at base camp, set them all up by the time anyone else arrives. And then at the end of the night, when everyone's left, they have to drive them to either the next location or to wherever they're holding them for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, really unfortunate. And hopefully,
really rough.
I guess, more information will come out soon.
You gotta feel for them.
Yeah. Fucking freak, brutal accident. Awful.
Yeah. Absolutely terrible.
What other Netflix?
That's gonna be a hard transition.
That's difficult. You want to just do a hard pivot?
Well,
into
whatever.
something a little more cheerful?
Sure.
NFL Plus streaming service is coming this summer.
Yeah, no. I mean, when we consider like who's watching television now, you have to consider sports. It's such a
sports,
huge aspect of it. I mean, like
or just any sports in general. Yeah.
sports in general. I mean,
Where is it streaming now? This is an area I'm very unfamiliar
well,
with.
so the NFL is interesting
it's
because
Really?
Jeff Bezos tried to buy a team and they wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him?
They wouldn't let him.
They're very insular. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the NFL is a company. Like all of these teams and franchises.
You meant to say racket.
Well,
I didn't say it.
this ain't baseball, dude.
But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like live streaming football, it's expensive.
Yeah, and it's through
People
several
pay-
different
Is it
services.
like Hulu and ESPN Plus and that kind of thing?
So ESPN Plus definitely
Has
has like some, but like
some games, because each team also you can get on different services just by the team itself. I
people
mean,
are
there's
paying
Red Zone.
hundreds of dollars a month for
Yeah.
TV packages that include live sports.
Wow.
Hundreds, yeah.
And so NFL Plus is going to be a cheaper alternative to
It's
that?
just going to be everything. It sounds like. So and they can make tons of dollars.
The
off
money,
it.
yeah. I mean, there are people that just watch sports. They don't watch anything else.
Anything else?
I have a friend
Yeah.
I have a friend that watches like every one of his team's soccer games,
Yeah, dude.
and every one of like a couple of other teams that he's not as interested in, and then he'll play the what is that game called? The Football Manager game, and he'll watch the simulated games of that as well, all the way
Awesome.
through, and they last for like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It's insane. To me, that sounds insane. It just loves watching football.
Yeah, I mean,
or soccer.
People love sports. One of my girlfriend's old roommates, Keith, he had like 3 huge flat screen TVs in his bedroom, and every Sunday he'd just like if there wasn't like a big game going on, he would lock himself up.
Hasn't that gone down?
Yeah, that's gone down.
That means that there's no pellets in the hopper.
No, it's
we
full.
just refilled the hopper. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing about this is the graph will tell us what our peak was. So
we just noticed that the temperature probe has gone down instead of up on the brisket we're cooking.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But some other interesting sport news right now is Apple just struck a deal with Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
Did they
A
really?
10-year streaming deal. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
To watch soccer games on
I wonder
Apple
whether
TV.
that's because of Ted Lasso.
Part of it, yeah.
I think it might be. I mean, if there was a big,
Or an influence in it.
I mean, you saw after the Queen's Gambit came out, there was a huge influx of people like signing up for chess classes and like at least Googling like how to play chess,
You've seen the Queen's Gambit board game, right?
which is
Yeah.
not anything.
Which is not
it's
chess.
not about chess.
But the same kind of thing happened when 101 Dalmatians came out and
Yeah.
Finding Nemo came out.
Yeah.
A lot of people bought these pets, weren't prepared to take care of them, and they just flooded adoption centers.
Yeah, Game of Thrones with huskies and other like wolf breeds.
Yeah, one of the hardest dogs to take care of.
Yeah, huskies and malamutes and like wolf dogs immediately just the shelters were
People
full
got
of
them, couldn't take care of them, didn't take care of them,
Yeah.
and they were shut off the shelters. Yeah.
Every Easter, rabbits.
Oh, yeah.
Every Easter,
Really?
bunnies are just like adopted en masse and then sent back to or released into the wild, which is so bad. Like that's downright evil.
Bunnies are a strange pet. I know you used to have one,
I love
but
rabbits.
I remember going to a house party in college, and I had no idea that there was going to be the girl whose house it was. She had a pet rabbit. So I walk in the door, and there's full of people, and people are like talking, dancing, and drinking. And I walk down a corridor, and I see this girl cross in front of me. I say hi to her. She walks into the other room, and then a rabbit like hops out of the doorway that she came out of, like looks at me, and then hops on.
Yeah.
That sounds like
continues into
such
the house.
an amazing party.
Yeah.
They're really cool. They're really cool animals. They're sweet. One thing that I find, like, I'm not a huge fan of a million different streaming networks. That's part of the reason that Butler is a thing, is because it's just too fractured and too difficult. And eventually, once people start packaging things together, it's going to be even harder.
It's gone down to 188. I'm gonna
right.
double check it.
You go check on it.
I'm just gonna turn it up to 250 again. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. One thing that's interesting about those like football specific streaming or soccer specific streaming is there's a backlog of just footage of stuff that's available.
People love watching classic games.
It's not even classic games. It's like every time I watch football at the end of the season and then the Super Bowl. And generally that's basically it.
Well, basketball season just ended.
Yeah, basketball just ended. Congratulations to the Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah, good win.
Steph Curry, finals MVP, his first one.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous, but like good for him. But it's I mean, you watch any big sporting game, they'll do bumps between like commercial breaks of like, here's this player, here's a like 5-minute doc on who they are and where they come from, and you can't.
Oh, those highlights are so much fun though.
They're really fun, but you can't really find them anywhere after the game's over.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So if there's a streaming network and you just want to go down the line on that, you can. That's
like watching trailers before a movie. You're waiting until like a big sporting event and you watch player highlights, like that's great for
every
a
member
streaming
of the
service.
team.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of opportunity there, I think.
I mean, and they make it. I mean, you got dozens of people working on these bumps per team.
Yeah.
Every year or every season. That's a lot of work that generally goes unseen. So if you can, if there's a place to hold all of that and then watch it later, I mean, that's a good,
unique selling point. Yeah.
That's a great selling point. And you were saying like watching classic games back in college when we didn't have anything to do. One of our things was like we'd watch old football or boxing matches. Like the big classic ones, and that's so cool to have it in like one place and not have to like scrounge the internet for the thrill in Manila.
I mean, it's hard to watch some of those games if you just know what's going to happen. For me personally, but
Pause this a sec.
Oh.
Pause it.
And we're back.
Sorry about that, guys. Our brisket has been rescued. For some reason, the
Traeger grill was messing up.
Yeah, the grill.
Or Traeger smoker
must have
rather.
went out because if you know anything about Traeger grills, is they feed pellets into a like a little fire pit where they ignite. But the pit that you're supposed to feed the pellets into was full of like literally overflowing with pellets.
Yeah,
with no fire.
Yeah,
we've been using this thing for like 2 years now. That's the first time.
Longer than that, yeah. Strange. But we cleared it out, turned it upside down, shook it, literally did that.
Yeah.
Put it back on,
well.
and
after taking the meat off of it, then we took the grill, flipped it upside down.
Well, we put the meat on the floor.
Yeah. So now we're back at we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We were talking about NFL stuff and
Yes.
how Major League Soccer is coming to Apple.
Sports.
Sports
go sports.
FIFA's coming to LA.
Oh yeah, it was announced on Instagram that I saw. I didn't double check if it was real or not.
It is real.
But the World Cup is going to be in LA in 2024.
It's
Yeah.
It's 26. It's 2026.
Can you move your tea away from your
it's
laptop?
empty.
Oh, okay, good.
I think 2024 it's in LA.
No,
2026 it's in New York.
I thought it was 2026. It's just America.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was New York, New Jersey. But one listener might be interested enough to double check it. How does that Garfunkel and Oates song go?
I don't know. There's a lot of
darkness, my old friend.
No, different band. Garfunkel and Oates has a TV show too, right?
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Crap, what's it called?
I like that creative team.
Yeah, Kate McCucci and Ricky Lindholm.
Yeah.
Ricky Lindholm. Both of them are incredibly talented.
So great.
Yeah, great music. God's
Where
Loophole.
Where does FIFA sport? Where does soccer stream?
It's going to Apple, Major League Soccer.
For Major League Soccer, though, that's
for
different
American
than FIFA.
soccer.
Oh.
Yeah.
But so
when FIFA soccer athletes get too washed up, then they come to the MLS.
Pretty much.
Which is the American soccer system.
Yep.
It's like we had David Beckham, we had Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Okay, so the 2026
I think we're getting Messi soon.
Yeah,
Messi's going to go play soccer in Miami.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool. I get they're fucking multi-millionaires already, but it's kind of like when you reach 40 and your career's kind of over, you're like, I'm going to move to LA to the beaches and kind of play soccer.
I have confirmation on the FIFA World Cup. It's 2026 that it's happening. It's not in the US. It's United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Oh, okay.
16
cities across the continent.
Cool.
Are participating. And LA is unfortunately one of them.
Yeah.
And guess what we have 2 years after that? The Olympics.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which is why now you'll see all the road work being done.
If LA's still standing by that time.
Somebody woke up at City Hall and was like, fuck, the Olympics are in 6 years. What the fuck are we going to do, guys?
I mean, what are they going to do in LA? Where the hell are they planning on putting that?
The Coliseum's pretty... that's where the Olympics...
Tents.
The Olympics...
This is
The
a
Olympic
practice
Village
run,
is
yeah.
actually just going to be under the 405.
There we go.
They're just gonna put tents up on Venice Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 86 Olympics were
Kick
in
out
LA.
the indigenous.
That's why the Coliseum is the Coliseum.
Huh.
We have the new NFL stadium.
Yep,
Down
SoFi
in Inglewood, SoFi. There's enough.
How's the
places
SoFi
here.
stocks doing?
Oh, I don't know. I saw that long ago. Yeah. I bet it's not doing very good. Actually, I'm gonna look it up.
I mean,
it's not doing very good.
Nothing's doing too
Most
well right now.
specs.
Speaking of finance, do you want to go into
Ooh,
your?
let's not have Jacob's crypto corner this week.
You don't want to do a crypto corner this
let's
week?
definitely do it. What's going on in crypto today then?
Yeah. Wait. Can does anybody else want to take it?
Jacob's Crypto Corner. Take it away, dude.
Yeah.
Next topic, please.
Well, so Coinbase, I'll start. Coinbase laid off.
Coinbase is horrible.
Yeah.
Coinbase lays off 18%.
They've been around for 10 years. They've been around for every single market downturn.
Is this the first time they've had to lay people off because of a market downturn?
I mean, the how and the why is like very debatable. Like, I don't know the internal mechanics of like why they laid off 1,100 people.
Wow.
That's a
Dude.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of people.
Netflix laid off like 200 people and was
People
getting
went crazy for it. Yeah.
Wait, but that means so they had like 10,000 employees?
Yeah. They're a huge company, dude.
Wow.
Gemini, which was the that
the
crypto exchange started by the
Winklevoss.
Winklevoss twins,
Yeah.
which
The Winklevoss.
gotta love them. Gotta love them. Ever since the Social Network, which like first showed me rowing, God bless them.
Yeah, but they're cannibals, right?
Who knows? But they laid off a bunch of people.
Actually, I think the correct plural is Winklevodes.
Winkleby.
The only exchange that's really like thriving right now is Binance. They were like, we didn't take out any Super Bowl ads. We didn't
And
do
FTX
any
is
crazy.
good as well.
I don't know how well they're doing, but I know Binance is doing very well.
I know that.
that's-
I saw a tweet by what's his face, the FTX dude, earlier today saying that
He's awesome.
they have
He's
no
so cool.
outstanding debt and they're good apparently,
Awesome.
according to him.
That's actually something I didn't even think of. When watching the Super Bowl this year, it was all crypto commercials.
All crypto ads.
That's like a
So expensive.
premature celebration. You guys
Well, no,
went
that was
so
in the
big
middle of
way
like
too
their
early.
boom.
Yeah.
That was the top.
Yeah, but it was a boom before anything had like any. It
Well,
wasn't
so-
sticky.
So what else has been going? Because I've been like I've
It
got
wasn't a sticky
very
boom.
cursory knowledge of what's going on in the crypto world at the moment.
Yeah. What was interesting okay, so the next upcoming news, what's going to be the biggest, is this Ethereum merge. So transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake, which should take all the transaction costs and really lower them, take off the environmental detriments, make each transaction much more efficient, much more cheaper. But it's a huge undertaking. I mean, this merge has been going on for months and months, and they've just been delaying and delaying it.
Yeah.
They've successfully merged on some of the test nets. So right now, most people do transactions on the Ethereum mainnet. There's other test networks. So if you start developing your own smart contracts, like I've written some on the Rinkeby network, you still use quote unquote Ethereum, but on a different network. And the way that they encourage developers is they give away free tokens. They're not worth anything, but you use them for transactions on that network. What was really interesting recently is this introduction of L2, layer 2. There was a huge airdrop recently, which hundreds of thousands of people were eligible for this one. This one was really interesting. Optimism, which is layer 2 on Ethereum. So essentially, they use all the technology of the Ethereum blockchain, of all of this, and then develop their own application on the top of it. But it's confusing too, because every transaction on layer 2 has to be done on layer 2. If you try to do a transaction from your layer 2 wallet, from a layer 1 wallet, it will just go to the Ether, go to the Black Void.
So the wallet
won't go
itself
through.
has to be a layer 2 wallet?
You have to be on a different network. Yeah.
That doesn't sound very good.
I mean, it makes the process more confusing. It does.
Yeah.
I have a hard time navigating to it. It's very
Something that's already not user-friendly.
not clear.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that also means that there's opportunities for startups to make a user-friendly process.
Yeah.
There's always opportunity in the market for this. Yeah.
So why would they have done that? I mean, why is it specifically?
Well, it
like-
makes the transactions cheaper, faster, and more energy efficient.
But why doesn't it interact with the same wallets?
Well, so it's
Isn't it
essentially the same wallet.
addresses?
It's the same addresses, but it's on a different layer.
I guess I just need to look into it.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, especially on an audio format, which is code for me not totally understanding the thing, but it's interesting because I started doing some transactions on layer 2 just because I wanted to get a hold of it, and the gas fees were like nothing.
Wow. I mean, that's great.
Less than a penny gas fees, which was unreal.
I mean, Solana's not doing too hot right now, right?
Oh, last I saw Solana was like $30.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah, really low.
Ethereum today I saw was $912.
Didn't Bitcoin dip under 20K again?
Yep.
Wow. And that's all spurred on by... Is it...
Oh, so what's interesting recently is Celsius. Are you going to talk about that? Or
No,
Michael Saylor?
No, you want to talk about it?
Which one?
I was just going to say, is it mainly spurred on by the market collapsing as a whole and people just being less interested in sort of like speculative assets like that? Or
There's definitely a global downturn on traditional stocks.
Yeah.
And
Tell me about it.
it's hard to say like where the crypto downturn really came from.
Yeah.
Or if it's because of this global stuff, but a lot of stuff is going down. I don't know.
Yeah. So what's going on with Celsius then? I don't know much about this.
Celsius was a platform that did something very similar to Robinhood.
And then let's talk about Tether as well, because I've heard Tether's in the news a lot right now as well.
Oh, Tether's always in the news. They're horrible. I don't want to talk about them at all. But Celsius is also bad because what happened with Robinhood with GameStop was they stopped withdrawals and they stopped transactions. Celsius is a platform for you. It's a lending platform. So essentially you have collateral. You can take out leverage. You can take out more money. And they ended up halting all withdrawals. They had something like $12 billion in their market, essentially, how much it was worth. And all of that was just lost. And
so if I had money in there, I could not...
You couldn't access it.
And what about now? It's still lost?
I mean, maybe it's now... I don't have a Celsius account. I know that a lot of people that came into crypto that have a traditional finance background. So people I know that were in insurance, brokers, that were really interested in using Celsius, were just stalled, were halted. And so that caused a huge sell-off. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And did they have they said a public statement over that?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't followed them too closely. I just know that was a lot of money and some horrible things.
Big rug pull. Yeah, it's a really big rug pull. Wow. Damn. And is
the best news I have with crypto right now is a Twitter account @Chickens.
Okay, go on.
They've set up a camera apparatus in the middle of this farm.
Okay.
That lets chickens take photographs.
Right.
And then they'll post these photographs on Twitter, and they've started minting these NFTs of photographs taken by chickens of chickens.
Man, why didn't we think about this? Damn.
That's the best news I got right now.
So how is this whole market crypto crash affecting NFTs as a whole?
So NFTs, I think, are fascinating because we've had a couple different, you can call them market corrections, you call them market downturns, but there's been a bunch of times that you can say it's like 2017 when Bitcoin went from $19,000 to $6,000. You've had these big downturns before, but you've never had NFTs involved in the picture.
Yeah.
NFTs were interesting because they're generally priced in Ethereum.
Yeah.
And so you'll buy them for 0.1, 0.3, 15, whatever it is. And at one point in time that has a USD value, but when that gets traded, people will value it different ways. It's what's more important to them. Is it the value of Ethereum or is it the value of that NFT in Ethereum? And so you'll see some really interesting trades where someone will buy a Bored Ape, 71 Ethereum, hold it for 3 days, sell it for 80 Ethereum, make a gain of 9 Ethereum, but the price of Ethereum goes down and they made a loss in fiat and can harvest tax losses because of that. Yeah. There's some really smart people in this game.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, so Tether?
Tether is a stable coin that's been sued a bunch of times.
This is always constant. Every time every week I hear something else, some other like sort of white noise about Tether being shit or something.
I'm pretty sure that's a proper stable coin, or rather an improper stable coin. But it's
maybe we talked about
different than Luna.
Maybe we talked about this before. Isn't the thing with Tether that they didn't have the reserves that they said that they were required to have?
What makes a stable coin is per every coin, has an equivalent dollar in a bank account.
Yeah.
And so there's reserves for every time you mint these tokens, they have that equivalent dollars in the bank account. And Tether just didn't. It's you'd get 100 tokens, get $100, someone would siphon out a bit of it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's not great.
Yeah, that's not great.
But
Is that timer? Is that when you have to leave?
No, that's just a check.
Oh, got it.
Thing.
Okay. I
Because
thought that was when
the
Jacob had to leave. 'cause
thermometer
he was getting on
died.
the plane.
Oh, yeah, but I'm still going to NFT New York.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a
Going
DAO
on a
that'll work
plane
part-time
today.
on it. Yeah,
Yep.
playing tonight.
And a Mercury event.
Going to Mercury event.
That is the NFT event, right?
One of them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole week of events. Yeah, different platforms have 101.xyz, which is a really interesting educational platform, is doing an event.
That's Tim
Connor.
Tim Connor, yeah.
He's cool on Twitter. He's really interesting. The Hundreds, which is a clothing company, is doing a series of events. And so they're having artists. They're having Pusha T perform. They're doing an interview with Spike Lee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Is he
that's
doing
just
something to do with
I'm not sure what he's been doing in the space, but the Hundreds made it available for anyone that holds one of these tokens, one of these NFTs, to go to this live recording, to go to this interview.
Really?
And so that's really interesting. There's still incredible utility. If you have Spice DAO tokens, you can go to a breakfast at the Plaza. The Plaza is one of the most famous hotels in the
Is
world.
that actually what you can do with those tokens now?
Yep. That's some of their like real world utility now.
Wow.
Maybe if you're
Moonbirds.
lucky, you can meet
Yeah,
your hero.
If you wanted to.
We're gonna have to
Shit.
bleep that out.
Yeah.
If you hold one of these Moonbirds, you can go to a Tame Impala concert.
Wow.
If you hold a special Moonbird, you'll get a private event with David Blaine.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Shove it. Shove the needle through my hand, bro. Shove it through.
Last time I saw him, I blinked and then I was like in the middle of the ocean on a raft. Coast Guard had to come and save me.
The last thing he did was really cool. It was him hanging from his hand from a balloon
Yes.
Cool.
and floating up into the air.
Yeah, I don't know him well, but
Yeah.
I know that he's a big name in the Magic community,
Yeah.
which I'm not active in, which you
He
both must be
just-
more active in than I am.
He just shoves crochet needles through parts of his body.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, ew.
He's so
Magic.
It's a magic trick in massive quotation marks. I can't remember the exact name for it, but it's a very old trick where through being very careful, you can push things through your body
Without hitting anything.
over and over and over again. And what it does is it forms a scar tissue channel. And then the skin will kind of heal over the top or look like it's healed over the top. So
Weird.
You won't bleed through it.
So there's a famous
That's so awful.
there's a famous I guess magician from like the 1930s or 40s. There's black and white footage of this skinny guy with a like skinny old man with a beard. He's got all these like dots on his stomach, right? And you can push, and he can push a sword through himself. He pushes swords all the way through himself, like through the front of his abdomen and out the back, or sideways through his ribs like this. Yeah, and so essentially that's what David Blaine's done with that trick, I think, on his bicep, where he can push, I think maybe his hand as well.
Yeah, he
can
done a couple
push.
of sand.
I mean, it's
thick
crazy because it
needles.
literally looks like because he is pushing a needle through his arm. So he's pushing like a big, like a crochet needle. You see it go in, there's no blood, and then you see on the other side, the skin start to bulge up to a point, and then the needle come through it. And there's no blood unless they do it slightly wrong.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a pretty wild...
Gross.
It's not really a trick. It's what would you even call that? It's like it's not a skill.
Well,
it's
It's a skill. You got to practice that.
it's a dedication, I guess, or
a discipline.
I guess it's a discipline.
yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess.
but yeah. Anyway, what's next on our list of stuff to talk about?
So next, the only thing we really have, I mean,
Did you want to go back to talk about other things about Netflix? Didn't you have more stuff?
The thing I have on Netflix is that they're testing their password sharing
In Peru.
mumbo jumbo.
Oh
in Peru.
yeah.
But
You and I talked about that on the phone the other day.
we've talked about it on the podcast already. What
Yeah.
that entails. And it's not terribly like, I don't know. I mean, there's a new speed racer in the works. That was your contribution.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. can't wait. What's the monkey's name of that?
I don't know. Speed Racer?
Yeah. The one
tell
that
you.
like hangs out with his little brother.
Couldn't tell you.
Speed Racer's wacky. Just wacky tacky.
I think there's potential for that to be interesting and good.
I mean, for all of the flaws of the Wachowski movie, It was really pretty and interesting looking.
Yeah, it's its own art style.
Talk about this.
I mean,
I didn't read it. What are you talking about?
Adrian posted it in our group. You want to talk? Yeah, you talk about it.
Well, I mean, it's an article about how it's called.
Streaming is too big for its own good.
From Wired.
Viewers are overloaded with content, and as Netflix and other major services are now learning, blinding excess comes at a cost.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically what we've talked about on the podcast already, where you have these big studios now, and it's all the big studios. It's no longer just TV networks. They are now becoming content farms for just producing as much as they can in as low a time as possible. And you're experiencing now as a viewer overload. You have, hundreds of new things to watch every day that you could potentially do.
95% of it is not really worth your time.
Most of it's fluff, and you have to sort that yourself to figure out what's worth it.
Saying that, I do actually want to talk about how, I mean, the past month and a half, 2 months,
great TV.
has been phenomenal TV.
Yeah.
Phenomenal TV. You've had...
Yeah, what have you been watching? Let's talk about it.
You've had season 6, final season of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I still
Can't
haven't
wait
even
to start
started
it.
it.
Can't wait to
Oh
start
my God,
that.
it's so
I heard
good.
it's really good.
We should do a podcast talking about it.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
We have to watch it first.
You watch it over the next week or so. It's
I kind of want to start with season 1 again because I know that the series ends.
Yeah.
And I would just enjoy that process. Like
I would do it differently. This is what I did. I watched season 6, only 6 episodes. I started
that's normally how they do it. They do short
episodes.
And each one's like an hour long.
This one's
the season finale is always some of the best television ever.
Yeah.
The end of each season.
Yeah. That last season finale, I was kind of let down.
I
don't like
1, 2,
cliffhangers.
3, 4. Like
I thought they were all good, but I mean, this season is just absolutely phenomenal cream of the crop
can't wait.
filmmaking.
I've yet to hear something bad about it.
Impeccable writing, impeccable cinematography, impeccable editing. All of the dialogue is so tight and almost sort of like poetic. It's like very carefully written. It's an absolute pleasure to watch from like a fan of the show, and also from like just from a filmmaking quality of a filmmaking fan. It's brilliant. Yeah,
it's such a great show. I get so emotional watching that.
Yeah,
oh, man.
you get pumped.
So you should watch season 6 and then go back and watch. This is what I did. I watched season 6 and then I went back and I watched the first few episodes of season 1, just to see the difference. Yeah.
I mean, there's all these like news articles you see of like what do actors look like now versus what do they look like when they started this TV show or when they started whatever. That's always interesting to see. I always click on those.
Let's hold off on talking about it till you two have watched it. And we could just do like a little bottle episode just talking about.
I'm down.
Would you do that before we record the Top Gun episode?
I still need to. I think I missed my chance of going to see it in IMAX.
I mean, at least see it in theaters. It
must still be in IMAX.
No.
Because Jurassic World came out and now Buzz Lightyear's out.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see Lightyear.
I'm holding off.
In terms of like
until it's free on Disney Plus, I get it.
I mean, I everything about that movie to me, like in my head, it's setting off red flags of like you're just not gonna like it.
I really hope I'm gonna love it, but in terms of other TV, you got Peaky Blinders season 6.
You got Barry
season.
I finished
3, season
Barry.
4.
I have 3.
Season 3.
I
finished it. It was good.
Love it. Oh my God, it was so good, and it wrapped up so nicely.
The Boys season 3
coming out weekly. I'm caught up to date with The Boys.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not yet.
Oh,
I want to say something, but I shouldn't.
Don't say anything. Yeah.
I can't say anything.
Is it really good?
There's like one thing that like really hit me
in the first episode.
In the most recent episode that came out Friday.
Oh, okay. I watched it already, but which thing?
Do you want me to put on earmuffs?
But just whisper it in my ear. Wait, hold on, that won't work because you can hear it.
Kimiko can talk.
Oh yeah,
but at a cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down.
For All Mankind season 3, which had in my opinion,
your favorite.
A pretty good first episode, but it let itself down really hard in the last 10-15 minutes.
We don't need to go over it because it'll take an hour.
Yeah, and now it's.
I didn't even keep up with that show. I didn't finish the first season. I didn't know there was a second season
and a third season. Yeah. And episode 2 was much better, and I hope they stay the course.
Show,
yeah. I mean, what else is out?
There's tons of TV.
I mean, really top-notch quality TV out at the moment. I think I wrote it in our Discord. Let me see.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of really good shows out, and also
Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah, Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah.
Great.
But that was only part 1 of season 4.
And then the next bit comes out July 1st.
Yeah. There's also another really interesting show coming out called Blackbirds on Apple TV.
Yeah, Blackbirds looks really interesting.
Looks really interesting.
I haven't heard about it.
It's
Taron Egerton and...
I'll find it now.
well, that's got a great cast in it, too.
Yeah.
Do you think that Netflix really shot themselves in the foot with this binging format?
No.
No?
Binging, there's certain shows where week to week is better, and there's certain shows where binging is better. And one of the problems that I'm seeing right now is that everybody's just got it backwards. Book of Boba Fett should be a binge show. Stranger Things is a binge show. Peaky Blinders could go week to week. I could
see that. I could definitely see that.
The Boys
For All
is
Mankind
week
is
to
good.
week.
I
week to week.
love that it's week to week. I
Yeah.
am so excited for next week.
So that kind
They
of
get
thing
me to keep
works.
coming back every
but
single week.
also, like, imagine watching like shotgunning 8 episodes of The Boys. Like, that's heavy.
That's heavy.
That's
That's
hard
really
to watch
heavy. Yeah. No, it's an emotional show.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's like, horrible in the fact that, like,
Visually, there's just some terrible
it's
shit.
gory,
Yeah.
it's violent, it's the situations that they create. It's like, oh, they hurt to watch, but like,
Ooh, you're
you
gonna
need
have a
to.
good time watching Peaky Blinders season 6. But the best review for season 6 I saw was Peaky Blinders season 6 is punishing.
Wow, yeah.
So, like, there's certain shows, like the new Obi-Wan show. It does not give me anything that makes me want to wait a week. WandaVision was great week to week. So it's just one of those things where I think a case-by-case basis is better. Stranger Things season 1 was great as a binge thing because it was what was it, like a 6-hour-long movie, basically. It was
10-hour-long movie, I think. Yeah.
It was huge, and it felt very coherent all the way through. That, like, what you just immediately want to go into the
It gets hard to turn it off. It gets really hard.
Stranger Things season 4, I feel like the way the format worked might have been better week to week because of how big the story was.
I've not thought about it too much, but I wonder whether there's like specific things about show, because I know that For All Mankind works way better week to week. If it was a bingeable show,
it would just be. I mean, having seen season 1, like, it would have been so kind of droll if I tried to binge it.
I don't think it would have been droll, but I think the situations that they set up are that their type of cliffhanger works better as wait a week and be excited about it, rather than like Stranger Things. It's not really a cliffhanger, although it is. It's
the episodes end on points where you just want to see what happens.
You don't want to stop the Goonies halfway through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure, but no. So the Blackbird, I just found it. It's actually Ray Liotta's last TV show.
Yeah.
That actor died. In fact, I went and I watched Goodfellas again last night.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which I forgot the opening. That movie has such a good opening.
Great.
Do you remember the opening?
Not quite.
It's
Is it when he's a kid, right?
No, it opens with I believe, if my memory serves me right, it opens with the three of them standing. So it's him, Pacino,
and Pesci,
and I think Pesci shooting.
No, it's not
De Niro, yeah. Liotta and Pesci standing around the trunk with a guy in it, and Pesci shoots him with a pistol a couple of times, and I think he stabs him.
Yeah.
And then right on that moment of him stabbing it cuts, and there's a voiceover and goes, my whole life I've always wanted to be a gangster, and then it blasts like this music, and then it goes back.
It's so good.
Such a good opening.
Every so often I find myself like on YouTube holes just watching scenes from Goodfellas.
It's
like,
really good.
You know what? It made me want that scene where like those guys mess with his wife.
Oh, and
he drives up to the house. He tells her to go inside. Yeah. Just like beats the crap out of one dude, gives her the gun, and says to hide it.
So what I was thinking,
just such a well shot and blocked scene.
It's so good.
Yeah.
What I was thinking about it was two things. One, it made me want to go back and finish The Sopranos, because I'm only like midway through season 3, I think. So I want to go, and that made me want to go back and rewatch and at least continue.
Yeah, that's a commitment.
Yeah. There's like a season 4, 5, and 6. 4 and 5 are like bits of seasons or something.
I never finished The Sopranos. I never even got to episode 2 of The Sopranos.
It's really good.
I understand that it's really good, but episode 1 is a perfect film by itself. I don't need more of it.
You would love it.
That whole story about the ducks framing it as like a framing piece to that thing. That's just a day in the life of a gangster. I don't need a bigger story about that.
Well, this is how good I think The Sopranos is.
Yeah.
Watching Goodfellas made me want to just stop watching Goodfellas and just watch The Sopranos instead.
Oh wow, that's big.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I was thinking about the other thing I wanted to say was Scorsese has been very critical of Marvel films.
Yeah.
Right. But if you think about it,
it's fair.
He's making his eras of Marvel films.
I don't know. I mean,
like Taxi Driver had something to say.
Yeah.
Right? Goodfellas, Casino, those kinds of movies are just fun action gangster movies. They're just pure cinema, basically.
I think it's different how he packages them as like individual works versus Marvel, which is in this greater universe.
I feel like this is
yeah.
a conversation for a longer episode, or like for a longer
different
timepiece, because
Yeah.
this is a big conversation.
Can you write that down? We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of weighed in on this already.
Yeah.
Plus, we gotta kind of wrap it up. You got a flight to catch. I got a brisket to check on.
Oh, yeah.
You guys want to do what you've been watching recently? Besides,
We talked about it a little bit, but so one thing that I've been really interested in lately is recommending people different movies based on, of course, what they've watched before, but specifically focus on either the actors or the production companies.
Yeah.
So I've been watching Happy Gilmore
Writers as
productions
well.
recently.
God bless.
Writers I don't know much about actually. I wouldn't be able to do that, but I think that there's an interesting avenue there.
If you like a TV show, look at the showrunner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think that's something that we can focus and kind of show
Yeah.
people more about.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like The Boys. I didn't realize Eric Kripke is the creator of The Boys, who's the creator of Supernatural.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, had no idea.
Well, he's not the creator. He's showrunner.
He was the creator of the show.
The comic is Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
Boys, yeah.
But no, sorry, he was the creator of Supernatural.
Yeah.
And then he's the creator of the show The Boys. Not
Yes.
the
Yeah.
But yeah, he did season 1, I think 1 through 5 of Supernatural.
The good ones.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know that it's like, if I were on the other side of the conversation, it's like if someone would recommend me a movie with Miles Teller in it, done, I'm watching.
There's a new one on Netflix with
there's-
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, the
And Miles
movie.
Teller.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah.
Netflix movie coming out.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
It came out.
Yeah.
It hasn't got very good reviews.
Oh, is it out?
I saw the trailer last night.
Yeah, but it's his boy.
Yeah, he's a homie.
What is it? I can't remember what it's called.
I
But
don't see it.
that's interesting because I want. It depends what you want, because sometimes you're watching something. Let's say you're watching a movie, you're watching a Brad Pitt movie. You just want to go watch Brad Pitt, be Brad Pitt somewhere else.
Yeah, you don't want. I
But
mean,
see, that's the thing. It's like, same with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. But some that's one type of, like, you finish watching this, I want to watch more of him.
Yeah.
Or
but
whatever.
I mean, there's also.
But there's
like,
also tone, right? So like
Yeah.
sometimes you finish like
But that's where the production studio comes in.
Yeah.
And-
If someone
yeah.
says they love a Happy Gilmore movie, send them to
showrunner
another
or
one.
writer like Fincher. Like
Yeah.
if you finish
what that
watching David Fincher, if you finish watching Mindhunter and you're like, well, I would love to watch something
yeah.
that's similar to this.
Watch Seven.
Watch Seven or watch look for other things in that tone or style.
Yeah. And there's the opposite, just because an actor's in two products doesn't mean that they're, one-to-one. I love Whiplash, but I wouldn't say if you love Whiplash, you should go watch Fan Four Stick. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's just an
But
all.
doesn't
even
that just
another
speak
J.K.
to the
Simmons
quality of the actor?
No, because
If they have like such range that the movies are going to be so different?
It
I
depends. I
haven't
think-
actually seen the movies that you just compared.
Fantastic Four and Whiplash with Miles
the drumming
Teller.
I
one.
haven't seen Whiplash.
haven't
I've
seen
heard-
Whiplash is so
No,
good.
I've heard great things
Whip-
about it.
Dude, that's like
That's his
movie.
best movie.
Oh, I mean, you're not talking about Fantastic Four. Like,
Dude, how have
We're
you not
not
seen
talking about Fantastic Four.
How have you not seen Whiplash? Go watch Whiplash on the plane.
no, I mean, I save my plane movies for horrible movies. So that's why I watch Dune on the plane.
All right, this has been the Chicken Coop Podcast.
I cannot believe you haven't watched. Oh, one thing I want to say.
Yeah.
I started reading Band of Brothers, the book that the TV
It's
show
supposed to be
is based
really
on.
Whoa.
good. I haven't.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I'm like only like a couple of chapters in, but
Yeah.
super interesting. And as I'm reading it, I'm seeing the actors and the situations that I've watched so many times
Yeah.
in my head. It's really weird.
Oh, awesome.
But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I just bought Who is Michael Orvitz? That book.
Who is
It's
Michael
his-
Orvitz?
So he started CAA.
Oh.
Yeah, he's fascinating.
Huh.
And at least the back of the book talks about how he would just meet with Spielberg and he would talk about different ideas and he would like convince him different ways when it comes to Jaws and Jurassic Park.
Really?
And yeah, I'm really excited to read that book.
That's
Looking
really
to
interesting.
see what else I've got on that I added on my list recently.
We should wrap it up though. It's 3:30.
Oh, another thing I wanted to
get
say, the trailer for Manford Toronto dropped.
Yeah.
Finally.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the movie that my cousin wrote. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to
Kevin
seeing it.
Hart and who else?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Oh,
Yeah.
can't wait for that.
Yeah, Robbie Fox was the main writer on it, my cousin. And yeah, super excited to see it. It's on Netflix soon.
We should see if he wants to come on and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be an interesting perspective. And he's also one of the power users of Butler, so
Yeah.
he's a good source of information of how professionals in the business would like to use the app,
Yeah.
which is definitely a perspective we want to have.
If you're a professional in any business or not, download Butler.
Yep.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter, trybutlerapp.com, at trybutler on Twitter. Tell us what you think. Use it. Ask
Break
for
it.
help.
Break
the app. Throw your phone off a cliff. Nope, don't.
Join the Discord soon as well, because we're about to release a big update.
Yes.
And as soon as we release the big update, I want to start doing polls for things like
What's
just figuring
next?
out like what do you want us to focus on next? What UI do you prefer? Do you prefer this as a UI, or is this better for UI?
Yeah.
And I'd love to get as much community engagement as possible to
So
really see.
So visit our website.
Yep.
It's at the bottom. We'll link it in the show notes. Check out any of the links. We'll link all of the movies and TV shows we talked about below. And you can hit those. On your phone. It'll take you directly to Butler or to a download for it.
I guess the next episode also, you'll be in New York.
Yeah.
So we might film like one more before you go away.
Yeah, I leave on the
And then
26th. So.
otherwise we
I
might
come
have
back
a
the
period of
27th.
like a couple of weeks of dead air.
Yeah.
So we
I
should
mean,
probably,
you can record without me too, or we could do a virtual.
we
one.
could do like a virtual. We could actually just do a virtual one.
Good work.
Yeah, I'll
But,
try. Yeah, so follow the links. We'll do it all.
Yeah.
It's all good. Do you guys? I'm Adrian at Punbelievable on Twitter. I have 11 followers. It's going real well.
He needs some followers. If you want to,
Yeah.
and if you want to hear some like
In-depth movie reviews.
/ schizo movie rants, go to
Hey man, I can talk about Obi-Wan all day. I feel no shame. There's legitimate quandaries with that show.
I really, really want to thank our listener. Who we definitely did not pay.
Yeah, we are not paying for any listens.
Wink, wink.
There's. Okay, sign off, guys.
Oh, yeah, thanks for listening. I'm
Thanks for
Jacob.
listening. I'm
Yeah.
Alex. Catch you next time.
Try
We
Butler.
got-
We got a brisket to go.
Yeah, save.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, we're out.